What is going on today? We are sinking our teeth into some project that we have already covered called BNB Pay. If you haven't checked out this project already, I did a developer interview with James prior. You have to check that out. Link is in the description, or I'm going to link it up here. But we've got James in the hot seat again, and we're going to follow up. And this was like wildly contested in the saloon. There were like people like, "Oh man, this was amazing." Oh man, I'm not about that. So this is neither. I'm just bringing you the developer. Okay, I'm not your financial advisor. I am not trying to like sway you in any way. You make your own decisions because I believe that AMAs are the best way to like get to know the developer, get to know their project, and especially if I'm just grilling them with things. And I've got a whole host of new stuff to bring to the table here today, and so does James. So I'm very, very excited. I'd like to get straight into the interview. So, James, welcome back to the hot seat.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for having me. Glad to
Yeah,
be here again.
absolutely. So, yeah, James, last we left, we talked about a month ago, a little under a month, about your project called BNB Pay. Now, for those of us who don't know what BNB Pay is, could you give us a quick rundown of what you're trying to do with your new crypto project here?
Yeah, sure. So BNB Pay, it's on the BSC network. Our aim is to become the most, I guess, widely adopted crypto for payments, commerce payments. So your everything from your e-commerce to your offline brick and mortar shops, restaurants, cafes, etc. We believe that the traditional legacy payment system, especially for cross-border, is have very centralized. All the big players like your credit cards, your PayPal's, they have somewhat of a monopoly on the industry, and they're charging merchants as well as customers whatever they like virtually. So we think it's inefficient. We think it's centralized. We believe crypto is the future. Obviously, I'm sure all your viewers would agree on that. So yeah, that's what we're aiming to do.
Yeah, of course. So let me just summarize it a little bit more for us lizard brains, right? You're trying to be the hub of commercial payments using crypto to pay on the BSC network. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's right. That's correct for merchants. Yeah.
And last we left here, and I'm really going to put you to the hot seat. I know you're used to this already, but you had about three, four, five merchants, right? Coffee shop, restaurants. Is that about right? Three, four, five around there?
Yeah, three or four. It's been a while, so yeah.
So okay, so can I ask you a really quick question? Why did you want to come back on into the hot seat? What are you wanting to tell us? Why did you want to come back to the Cowboys? Yeah, why are you back here?
First and foremost, obviously, to see your beautiful face again.
Well, I try. You know what I'm saying? We try.
No, it's I think uh, your channel as well as your podcast, you provide a great service, right? And you know this obviously. There's so many YouTubers out there that's basically doing paid promotions for any coin that approaches them, right? Like whatever it is, right? They have nothing but
They're
positive things
cheap
to say
dates out
about
there,
it.
man. They're cheap dates.
Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's. I think the viewers, the intelligent viewers at home, they understand that they can see through the facade, and I think there's not enough YouTubers out there that's doing what you do, asking the tough questions, really, coming at it from a uh, intuitive investor's point of view. So I think yeah, I really enjoyed the last interview. I don't know if you recall. I told you at the time it was my first AMA.
Yeah.
So I was super nervous. Wasn't sure what I was going to expect. Stumbled across it, and yeah, like I've done a few other AMAs since. So some hopefully getting better at it. So yeah.
Now you're a pro, man. Now you're a pro. Okay, let's get right into the nuts and bolts into this. BNB Pay. Tell me what's the updates from it. And if you got again, if you haven't seen this, I mean, you really got to check out the previous video here. BNB Pay with James. It's his first one. It talks about a lot of the groundwork. If you're just catching up, it's like I really grilled him on these questions. So give us an update on the last video from then to now in the last month. What's been happening?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, a while ago, about a month ago, and then a lot has happened. I think at the time when he had about 2,000 holders, 2 or 3,000. I remember
Okay.
watching one of your live chat videos. You, towards the end of it, you kind of like took a look at our charts and our growth, and you were like, "Whoa, holy cow!" like. And then you said it was all you, right? I remember that. That's probably partly true, or mostly true. So yeah, we've grown quite a lot in terms of market cap. We've grown quite a lot in terms of our holders as well. We have about, I think, almost north of 7,000 now. All of it's organic. Like we haven't done any airdrops. We haven't done um, like whatever else there is to boost your numbers. So all of it's organic. And still, I think to this day, I mean, I know for a fact to this day, we're not even listed on CoinMarketCap yet. So that's still something that we hope to achieve sooner rather than later. Don't know why it's the case, but it is what it is. But yeah, it doesn't stop us from developing, obviously. And then just quickly to cap off in terms of development. So we've since had our e-commerce demonstration, plugin demonstration. We're going to start on the plugin, WooCommerce plugin, which accounts for about 20-25% of all e-commerce stores out there with WordPress. So that's scheduled to launch in the next week or so. Once that is launched, I think it'll open us up to a huge market, of untapped potential with merchants who are looking to accept crypto. Yeah, looking to accept crypto.
Did you
Um,
did you
mhm.
did you say how many merchants you have right now?
No, I didn't. So we have, uh, I think 6 or 7 right now.
Okay, good.
I think we took some advice. We took we You asked me directly last time. I remember, you know, it's great. We're getting approached by individual merchants and mostly investors, one-to-one basis. But in terms of growing at scale, we really have to be more efficient or find more efficient ways of doing it. It's impossible to just knock on doors or approach every cafe in the world and go, hey, you want to accept crypto,
Yeah.
right? So we took your advice to heart, actually. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, so we're looking at developing our product, and then kind of launching at mass at scale. Yeah, getting ready to onboard all these new merchants that will potentially come our way.
So so okay, so let me kind of update here. You went from 3 to about 7
Yeah,
merchants, of which are like brick and mortar stuff, like restaurants, coffee shops.
brick and
You went
mortar
from
for
about
yeah, brick and mortar. Yeah.
2,000 holders to about 7,000 holders in about a month. No PooCoin ads, didn't even list on CMC market cap. It's all organic growth. Um, you had an e-commerce demo and a plugin that you're developing. And is this the big like turn? I don't remember talking about a plugin for WordPress. So is that what that is?
That's one piece of the development that's almost, so we've had the demonstration like a month or couple of weeks ago, so it's almost ready to be launched. The live
Okay.
the product is almost ready to be launched next week, the week after the latest. Um, that's one of the
Okay.
developments. Yeah, there are others. I can go into it later if you want.
So help me understand, how is the plugin going to help with the coin?
So the plugin is for WooCommerce, right?
Yep.
So if I was a merchant and I have an e-commerce store, right, selling shoes, and I currently accept PayPal and Visa, and I wanted to branch out to crypto. I can obviously, if I'm already using WooCommerce, I can download the plugin, and then basically within a couple of 30 minutes or so, my shop is ready to accept BPay.
Just
Now,
just so just so if anyone's catching up here, James is talking about developing a website. And so I have some experience in this. That's why we could kind of talk on this. But if no one's developed a website, you don't know what WooCommerce is. You don't know what any of this. So basically, someone who takes online orders, one of the
mm,
biggest platforms to use for retail on online, like take payments and payment processing, is a plugin or like a let's say like an application called WooCommerce. And what James is saying is, at least what I'm understanding, is that we could download a plugin, like an app or like an add-on, to their website, and it's the BNB Pay plugin to be able to accept crypto for payments. And you don't have to go through PayPal, and because they only have so many limited cryptos that they accept, you could go use BNB Pay, and that would be that. Is that about right?
yeah, yeah, that's right. I mean, we're providing an alternative, a much cheaper alternative, rather than charging, or the merchants getting charged a fixed percentage. Where, yeah, we're basically going. Well, we haven't actually. We've got a merchant website that we've launched. Basically, it's merchant facing, and it's going to go into all the details about how to install the plugin,
Awesome.
how to sign up with us, what are our fees and charges. Yeah, so merchants that are interested, they can go into our website, they can sign up. Obviously, there will be a vetting process that we have to do, because with crypto, right, once the payment is made, it's final. There's no recourse. So we do have to vet our merchants to make sure that they're legitimate,
Mm.
etc., etc. So to safeguard against potential our customers. But once they signed up and they're ready to go, install the plugin, and then off you go. Yeah.
So before, I remember last time we talked about how they could pay in like BNB Pay. Are there any other cryptos that you have developed that you can accept now?
So at the moment, initially, it's going to be BPay. Um, it's yeah. Once we have the product more mature, iron out all the kinks and bugs, then we will start to list other BSC tokens. The idea is to be exclusively, or at least for now, be exclusively on the BSC network. So we'll
Mhm.
accept BPay as well as all other BSC tokens
How far
in
do you
general.
think we're out to for other BSC tokens, like let's say Cake or something?
Um, I think it really depends on a few things. It depends on the speed of adoption, right? How quickly merchants
Makes sense.
on board, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, the more merchants there are that's testing using our BPay system, then it's we're going to get a lot more feedback from it. We're going to be able to streamline the process, etc., etc. And then from there on, yeah, definitely looking at expanding. I think we'll probably start with some of the big tokens first, obviously. What makes sense, right? Your
Yeah.
everything from your stable coin to BNB, and then slowly branch out to other tokens. Yeah, as
Make,
the system matures.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. So give me the three biggest developments. Because here's the thing: what I like. Here's what I like about BNB Pay and you, James, personally, is that there are so many projects out there on the BSC network,
Mm.
or yeah, on the chain, that die out within 2 weeks. Like literally 2 weeks. They
Yeah,
they list on they list on CMC, they list on CoinMarketCap and Gecko, and then they just die out. They get the pump and dump, and that's it. And they turn it over to the community for whatever reason, and no one, you know, what I mean, like everyone was just there for the pump. And what I love about BNB Pay is that you're showing organic growth, and you're showing like hey, like we're making progress here, and it's like just it's only getting higher. So give me the three biggest major like developmental milestones that you've had in the last month since we've talked.
yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you on the BSC aspect, right? It was it's obviously cheap and fast, especially given the insane NFT craze and gaming craze that's causing Ethereum to be so congested, right?
Yeah.
But the downside of that, it brings with it, like yeah, like you said, too many pump and dumps, and it's unfortunate because really gives the chain a bad name. Whereas there are a lot of legitimate projects that are exist on in the ecosystem, and it is heavily used. But yeah, it is what it is. So milestones for development. So I mentioned the e-commerce. I mentioned I touched on the website, the merchant-facing website,
Okay, yeah.
merchant.bnbpay.io.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's out. We have a DApp, I guess, a app or DApp that's part of an extension of our website where a user can connect their wallet, and then they're able to see their holdings, the total reflection earned, and then in the future, when we launch our staking system, staking reward tier, which I'll go into in a bit. They're able to see all the things related to that, and then also it'll be a payment gateway as well for them to use when it comes to merchant payments. So that's app, and then which is app.bnbpay.io,
Hmm.
and then the last one is the mobile wallet, which we've already showcased the UI UX, so the looks and feel of the app, as well as some of the basic functionalities that that's been touched on in a sneak peek video. So that one was quite well received. If anyone's curious, go and check it out on our Twitter page. It's the pin post.
Yeah.
So that mobile app, look, it's it's a big piece of development. It's not something that we can nor we want to rush into,
Yep.
but we are scheduled for. Sorry, I'm just checking the timeline. In about week, probably 2 weeks, we're going to have a live demonstration. So the previous sneak peek was just a video run through of some of the screens. This one's going to be live on testnet on the Flight app, and then one of our team members is going to go and click through some of it, so the users can see the additional functionalities, again the look and feel of it, and then yeah, so that's hopefully will be launched. I'd say next, hopefully optimistically in the next month or two.
Awesome. So I love that I asked for three and you gave me five, which is great. So you got the e-commerce, the plugin, which is great. We have already talked about that.
Mhm.
The website BNB, we didn't talk much about that, but that it's available for people to download and learn more about it, which is great. Um, and then the DApp, the extension. This is like DeFi stuff here, right? Staking, holdings, and stuff like that. So that's some good stuff. Can you tell me a little bit more about the staking?
Yep. So that the exact information about staking hasn't been released yet, but it will be like a tiered system. So you can stake X amount, XYZ amount, and then there'll be different tiers, right? Everything from a free tier to a top tier, and then there'll be additional benefits for each tier. Um, Things along the lines of cashback, right? If you spend at spend at spend your BPay or other BSC tokens at any
I
merchants,
love that.
there'll be reward, right? Reward
Well, I
member.
mean, it makes sense because if someone's going the extra step to pay in this new way called
Mm,
BPay, there
mm,
should be some kind of incentive or rewards. And I didn't even think about that until you just mentioned it to me. So I'm glad you thought about that. Some
yeah,
kind of cashback or rewards program that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, yeah. And then also, obviously, when you stake, you get the reward as well, like some sort of APY, depending on your tier system. On top of that, you also be earning the existing reflection, which is the tokenomics
Of
tax,
course,
right?
yeah.
So additional benefits, and then yeah, we have none of this is I guess concrete yet, but we have toying around with different ideas related to NFTs, related to gaming, related to also like pre-sales, right? Like everyone loves pre-sales. Everyone loves getting on the white list of the newest,
Yeah.
hottest coin. So I reckon that's something that we, we're actively working with different projects on.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And that could be, yeah, just basically offering all the additional benefits, perks that and as an investor that they want. So
So I love that you're developing a mobile wallet. Makes sense if you're paying in BPay to
mm,
have a mobile wallet. And I love the fact, probably my favorite part is this live demonstration stuff because it shows that there's actually like usability now. It's not just this like ethereal, like we are prepared to click around and use it in front and demonstrate it in front of people because it's working, which
yeah,
is really great. Like that's really, really good. Um, I've got a couple of questions here. The first one, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I've got a lot of questions here. The first one is the recruiting aspect of it.
okay,
Um, we talked about how, and you mentioned this already. Like you took it to heart. Like how do we go? How do we go? We went from 3 to 7 in a month. How do we go from 7 to 70? Right? How do we scale? How do you exponentially grow this thing to where people are downloading this plugin? Um, has your marketing strategy or recruiting strategy refined, and how is that, what is it now?
yeah. So two aspects. One, I think the product will speak for itself because it's just for a merchant, right? If I'm a merchant, I have an e-commerce store, and I've been getting steady sales on a month to month basis. I know exactly how much I'm paying in terms of fees and charges for credit, the payment processes, right? Especially the cross border ones that are like there's lots of fees and charges on top. So I already know what the expense is, and I've just kind of accepted it for what it is. Now, for us to come along and go, hey, we're an alternative. This is how it works. This is how easy it is to use us. This is how easy it is to install us. And bang, within 30 minutes, you can start accepting crypto, right? We will convert it to stable coins if you like. So you're virtually at no risk. And we're charging a fraction of what you're currently paying for
Okay.
your payment processing. So I think the product will definitely speak for itself. And then in terms of merchant acquisition, obviously, in the beginning stages, there's a lot of hand holding involved. There's a lot of marketing out there involved. So that's why we've created our merchant facing app. Merchant facing website. We're going to we'll be running advertisements. We'll have a team for full time doing merchant acquisition. At least in the initial stages, we really believe the product will speak for itself eventually, but it's just getting the word out there initially. And then, initially, I think there will be a lot of onboarding, a lot of hand holding as they go through the process. But we made it. Yeah, we made sure to make the plugin and the app as easy to install as possible. So yeah, it should be very it should be very intuitive once the merchant starts getting customers paying with BPay, and that's just for
Yeah,
the
I like that
online.
you have a whole. I like that you have a whole team for merchant acquisition. That makes a lot of sense, and then you have a whole other team for onboarding. That makes a lot of sense too. So that
Support.
that
Yeah,
makes it like very frictionless, very easy for these merchants to get on board and stuff like that. And I suppose it's the standard marketing stuff, right? You're getting Google ads. You're getting getting on the top 10. Um, these websites doing the top 10 plugins, WordPress plugin stuff for crypto or whatever. Then you got the influencers and stuff. So this is all pretty standard stuff. And then the onboarding team, which is great. So I'm glad to hear all of that, especially in marketing. Like this is heavily marketing based. So you're gonna have that I love marketing. So it's a fun challenge.
especially because it's crypto and it might be a new, maybe new thing for a lot of merchants that are either heard about it in the news. Doesn't don't really know much about it, or don't really know how to get started.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be anticipating a lot of educational pieces around that. But yeah, look forward to the
Yeah.
challenge.
Well, it makes sense because you're educating around crypto as well. Like they probably don't have a wallet. They don't probably, what I mean,
Yeah,
they don't know what the heck is a BSC. They have no idea. So
yeah, yeah.
I think that's great. Um, I have another question here. What has been the hardest challenge for you to overcome in the last month, and how did you overcome it?
I think it. I mean, honestly, the hardest challenge is being CMC because that's just what everyone, like every second person, investor that or potential investor that joins our Telegram, that's the first question they ask, right? They find it almost unfathomable that we're apparently a legitimate product, a legitimate project. We've been around for over 2 months. We're listed on CoinGecko. We're listed on all other sites that track coins, and we've got almost working products and demonstration, etc., etc. But yet, yeah, we're not listed on CoinMarketCap, which a lot, I guess, makes sense for a lot of people because they see it as the source, a trusted source, trust a third party to verify that something is legitimate or the coin is legitimate. So yeah, so that's the biggest challenge to be frank. And
What's the hang up there? Is it just on their end, or what's happening there?
yeah, I think we had a look the other day. I think there are a lot of coins that there are a lot of coins that are listed. I mean, you have your fair share of coins that are listed on day one, launched on day one, and they're listed. I won't go
Yeah.
into why I think that's the case because I'll just be purely speculating. But there are coins out there that are about they apply and then or they launch and apply and then about a month later they get listed. So we reapplied again about 15 days, 10, 15 days ago. So hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe in another 10, 15 days, we'll be able to get on there. Yeah.
Wow. So this is actually good news for investors because there's always the CMC pump that always happens. So this is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Last we talked, and here's what I was keeping an eye on: BNB Pay. When our last interview launched, BNB Pay went through the roof. Did you see that? I'm
I
sure you
saw your
did.
reaction to it.
Was it on the live? I don't even remember. I think it was on the
It
live.
was. It was. Yeah.
Yeah, it went through the roof. I was like, oh my gosh. How did you feel during that moment? And what would happen after that?
It went through the roof. I think coincidentally, it got listed on CoinGecko right after, or maybe a day after our interview, or it was the AMA went live. How did I feel? Obviously, great, right? The team was pretty happy with it. I think it's validation for our work,
Hmm.
validation that we are solving a problem that resonates with a lot of investors. They understand our vision, they understand what we're trying to achieve, and they buy into it, right? And to some extent, they um, trust our ability to deliver it. Now, oh yeah, that's right. We actually our project initially was launched anonymously, and then we doxed ourselves. Well, with the along with
Yeah,
the AMA because obviously
that's right.
face out there. So
Right here, baby, right here.
yeah, there's no hiding now. So yeah, I think a combination of being doxed, being on CoinGecko, and then just more and more investors kind of understanding what we're trying to do, and so it's
For sure.
validation. Obviously, it's sweet. Yeah.
For sure. Okay, speaking of your team and doxing, has your team grown at all since we last talked a month ago?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like development side of things as well as business side of things. I mean, it's a project with a lot of facing. We're not traditionally. You've got your dev team and your marketing team, and the marketing team just markets to investors, right? That's the end of it. But for us, we've got development, which we've got different streams of development as well. So we've got the mobile app, we've got the website,
The
the
website, the
app.
dApp,
Yeah,
the
we've got the
wallet.
wallet, and then we've got the point of e-commerce, and we've got point of sale system. So yeah, we've got different streams. As like it require different skill sets, so you need to have different people for those One thing I didn't mention about is also rebranding. So we're looking to rebrand our website, and yeah, basically just to rebrand our website and our logo, and now just to be more attractive, I guess, or more
Okay.
appealing, or more resonate with what we're trying to do. So yeah, our team's grown, like headcount's grown to at least 10 plus now. I'm having trouble keeping count. A lot of people obviously are doing wearing multiple hats, but it is what it is.
Sure.
And we're still
Th-
hiring. So yeah.
this is good news all the way around, James. Like you've got different avenues where you're developing and different teams that you're developing. And then you're not only just developing products, you're developing your infrastructure, like your onboarding team and your marketing team. You've got and you're like slowly pivoting to make your brand more attractive, which is what I like. And then you're just building out the whole ecosystem right now. This is fantastic news. This is fantastic news. Um, so, is there anything else that we haven't covered about BNB Pay that you're just like we haven't left on the table, that you've got some kind of secret that you want to just let out?
Um, I remember coming to the end of the interview last time, and you asked me the same question. I was like, oh, pretty much. I wanted to, drop some, awesome alpha, I guess, but I think I've let it all out during the interview. We've got, yeah. Look forward to our uh, e-commerce launching. So I think that's very exciting, and we're going to ramp along with it. We're going to ramp up advertising and things like that for
Yeah,
merchants.
just so people know just how massive the e-commerce launch is. WooCommerce is like a mass. It's like the number one like e-commerce like plugin for WordPress websites. And if you don't know what WordPress is, it's the number one platform to build a website on. So you're looking to launch your plugin with in conjunction with the number one e-commerce plugin with on the number one website builder platform. So like I hope just to and this is just fact, right? This is what is statistically fact. So I just wanted people like to understand just what you're tapping into when you're saying e-commerce. I don't want that. I don't want people to miss that if they're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
into like
it's in the
website
many
development.
many trillions of annual turnover. So I
Yeah.
think even to get a slice of that would be
Absolutely.
crazy.
All right. So, hey, look, Cowboy, if you're watching this video, okay, very few times do we see a follow up with a project, and they want to tell you, "Hey, we are growing." The last month, there have been massive developments. Check out the first video, if you, and then watch this video, and well, you've already watched it. You're listening to this, right? And make your decision. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just your cowboy friend out here in the Wild West. But we need to find good, solid investments that we could just sink our hard-earned money and time into. And I think James is one of those rare guys who like there's a track record here, and there's progress and development here, unlike these other like Flocky Inu Shiba safe man. You know what I mean? Like it's too much right now. It's too much. And if you believe that crypto is the future, where future financial systems are going to be developed, you're going to want to be able to use crypto to buy things, and that's what James is offering here in BNB Pay. So before we get off this, James, I want you to answer one last question. But
Sure.
before you do, I'm gonna say everything here. But why one last time should we or me or anyone watching this video invest in BNB Pay? But before you do that, look, check out the links in the description. Check out the previous video. Join their Telegram. Go onto the website. Do your own research. I'm not financial advisor at all, so yeah, this is on you. All right, James, tell us, why should I invest in BNB Pay?
Yeah, I think if you're watching this, you already know crypto is the future, right? Crypto is the future of money. Crypto is the future of money, of how currencies are transmitted across borders, right? So that's where we're at. We're all about payments, every cross border or not. And don't forget, guys, like we, myself and Aaron, we live in Western countries, privileged. We have established financial systems that are working for the most part, right? For centralized, but working for the most part. But there are so many countries out there, like on the news, we've got El Salvador, we've got Ukraine, all these companies coming and starting to accept crypto or Bitcoin as legalized tender. because there's a real need for it, right? There's a real need for it. So there's so many countries, so many untapped potential out there. Merchants that are struggling because of payment gateways, centralized entity telling them who they can and can't accept money for. And yeah, that's what we're aiming to achieve. We're aiming to solve. So look out for us. I think it'll be really exciting times ahead.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Check out their links in the description. BNB Pay. Do your own research. I'm just. I'm not your financial advisor. Okay. I'm just a little lizard brain cowboy. Lizard brains. All right. But I got gorilla
Growing. The
arms and
brain's
diamond
growing.
hands. What was that?
The brain is growing.
That's right. This little lizard brain is growing, and yours needs to too. Anyway, thanks for watching. Cowboys Ride Together. We'll see you on the moon.